everyone, Olga with you. I remember that before war started in Ukraine, there were two main categories who like to reside in Ukraine. One category, it was retired people, single retired people who was coming to Ukraine to live because it was cheap destination and they could have very great level of life with their retirement pension. And second type of people, it was some kind of digital nomads, also single, who are just again need some kind of cheaper destination and at the same time with a good quality of services. So Ukraine were fulfilling both of these people needs, and that was great place to live. Now while there is a war, for sure not much people would volunteer to go and live in Ukraine, and it's quite understandable why. So I prepare for you video to check other Eastern European countries and compare their cost of living versus Ukraine and see what could be the replacement if there is any. Okay, so let us start talking about numbers. And the first thing, usually when people compare countries, they used to start with the average salary. But I believe that the people whose main target was come to live in Ukraine, they wasn't working in Ukraine. All these people were taking money abroad. So I will not focus so much on the average salary, but if you're just interested to know about it, you can see it now on the screen and pause it and just read it for your own interest. Okay, the next important part once you're moving to any other country is rent. The prices that you see now is for the apartment rent per month in capital and not in downtown. So the prices are very average for average type of apartment, not new buildings, not with a nice design, and not in downtown. Again, I just want to pinpoint you that in downtown, at least in Kyiv, in Ukraine, you need to pay double from the price that you see and more. So the limit is very high. Now, once we see the rent, let's cover the rest, the average cost of life in the countries, right? Excluding rent. So based on the numbers of statistics, it is in Ukraine $456, in Moldova it's per month $553, Romania $653 US, in Poland 707, in Hungary 710, and in Slovakia 720. Unexpectedly, but Slovakia somehow is the most expensive. So you can calculate the rent, plus you can add the living prices, and this is very, very average because for sure everybody has his own needs, and you can end up somehow with some price. Let's compare a transportation cost in all these countries. The prices for transportation is for 2022, but approximately you will understand how much it will cost for you. In Ukraine, if you want to use public transportation, you will pay approximately 28 cents per trip, and the monthly pass for the bus, for example, will cost you $9 only, and if you want to have monthly pass for the metro in Kyiv, it will cost you $16. In Moldova, it's slightly more expensive. Then you can see the prices for Romania, for Poland, Hungary and Slovakia. So again, the most expensive is Slovakia, where you will pay $27.6 US for the monthly pass. But still, I see comparing to UK, for example, this is extremely cheap. Now let's move to the food. I just include in the food the most basic things. It's water, milk, eggs, bread, cheese, rice, chicken, potato. Okay, so now you can stop and compare how much the things cost. And the last point in all of my comparison, this is restaurants. I'm not counting luxury restaurants where you can have luxury dining. It's more like lunch offers and so on. So if you just want to come and eat and you don't want to cook at home, and instead of that you're going to have some food from the restaurant or a cafe. So that's the average price. It's very average how much it will cost. Okay guys, so that was all my comparison. For sure Ukraine ended up to be the most cheap country, and I need to say that it's cheap, but it's not losing in the quality of the services. You have plenty of services. I didn't include if you want to have private lessons of horse riding, if you want to have haircut, if you want to have drawing lessons, learn how to play piano, go to do some funny activities just to make your emotions like car drifting or something. All of these services would be very cheap in Ukraine if you are coming with money from abroad. If you want to compare it versus the salaries in Ukraine are also very small, and I believe the smallest between all these Eastern European countries. And for average salary, you will be barely able to just rent apartment, and you will not have money for anything else. But if you are bringing money from abroad, this will brighten your life in Ukraine so much and will add a lot of flavors to be able to use the most nice premium things and food and restaurants, and have very nice luxury apartment for relatively very cheap prices, even compared to other Eastern European countries. If you have experience by yourself living in any neighboring countries with Ukraine, please share it in the comments. That would be very interesting to read. Thank you. Bye.